I can now officially tell you that Cameroon is two and very divisible.
2 weeks ago, we witnessed Honorable Wiba make a very impressive speech in London, and it got all our juice flowing. And I don't know about you, but it was a shot of adrenaline in terms of our revolution, and especially after the failure of all the different leaderships we've tried, and all the middlemen in between have frustrated us. They've frustrated the diaspora to a point where nobody contributes anymore because they trust nobody, and the money they've given, they don't find any results. In fact, the money didn't make ground zero. So, Rogers, how did Wiba impact you, first of all?
It was refreshing, to say the least. The effort, the thought that he put into it, the efforts, what he has done generally, which is some things that we have done here, it was refreshing. And you and I have always sat here and talked every single time about a revolution. Some people use those words, but they don't understand exactly what a revolution is and who is a revolutionary. So what he did was he came out and defined to the people, because we have talked about politics and how politics affects the revolution. You and I have done that so many times here.
Yes.
So what he did was he came out and did something that you and I had not done. He defined who is a politician and who is a revolutionary.
Yes.
So that the people should understand.
Yes.
And in that definition that he gave, a lot of the people are revolutionaries. A lot of the people. There are a few people who are politicians and using the revolution, as he said, to serve them instead of serving the revolution.
You mean a lot of our people are revolutionaries?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of our people are revolutionaries.
Yes, I agree.
The children in Jakiri,
yes,
or in Pini, or in Batibo,
yes,
who have decided to put their lives on the line.
Those are revolutionaries.
Those are revolutionaries.
Yes.
We saw some of them around 20 May in Bambili,
yes,
going at La Republique with stones, while La Republique is carrying machine guns. Those are the revolutionaries that Wiba is talking about.
Yes.
Those are people who have decided to put their life on the line for what we are fighting for.
Yes.
Those are the revolutionaries.
Yes.
So those are the people that he came out, and he did, like I said, he did something that you and I did not do. We were just describing what these people were doing and how it impacts the revolution.
Yes, we're saying that you cannot run a revolution using a government. But
exactly.
Somebody came and in one of the comments and said, "Oh, America freed itself through a government," which is, when people talk, they should think. American colonies had all these different assemblies that were running the place, so they already had a government in place. Okay, they already had a government in place. It's like Gbagbo in Ivory Coast, who was the government, and he decides to rebel against the colonial master in Paris. So he is already a government. And even then, so somebody confuses that with what we're talking about, that you don't have a government in the territory, a few people who have run out of the place, instead of putting a force like we were talking and go back and fight and take their territory, they sit somewhere else and form a government and then hide behind somebody's house and say, we are a government now, we've taken back our land. That's what we were saying. You never win your land back using that. I'm sorry I had to intervene to add that.
Yeah, and that is part of the problem that we have with our people. They have this superficial comparison. They compare oranges and apples.
Yes.
And they don't even take the time to look at the kind of comparison that they were doing. The United States was a colony of Britain. If we had rebelled when we were being administered from Nigeria, and we did rebel.
And we did rebel.
Because we left and went to Manfi from the Eastern House of Assembly.
Yes.
That is exactly what was happening here.
Yes.
The only thing is that we did not pick up arms when we left the Eastern House of Assembly, but these people from Boston picked up arms and threw the British out.
Yes, or when Foncha was the government, if on October 1 they were trying to hand us over to La Republique and he said no,
Exactly.
and send the mobile wings and all of that, then that's a government fighting for its country.
Yes, so you can then do those. That will be an apple to apple comparison.
That was an apple to apple comparison.
So that said, so I believe Riba came and gave us, as I said in our previous show, that he gave us another lifeline for us to go back and redo what we hastily did not do for the sake of those whom he venerated in his initial act in London.
Yes.
And all those whom we had gone and visited, all where they had fallen, and all those who have fallen after he had left, and all of us know.
Yes.
So I believe that we have a responsibility in everything that we do. We have a responsibility to live up to the expectations of the memories of those people who have fallen.
Yes.
And he gives us a way to do that. And what does he say? He says we should go back to the grassroots. We should go back to the grassroots and organize ourselves. From the Njangi house, if you go into this Mbo house, you organize yourself in that Mbo house. You go to this quarter, you organize yourself at the quarter level. Organize yourself in those cells. Then we begin to talk about, okay, this is our community, this is our cell. Who does not understand what is it exactly we are trying to accomplish?
Okay.
Right? The people who don't understand exactly what we are trying to accomplish at that level, then those who understand will be charged with educating those people on what we are trying to do.
Okay.
When you do that, that is how you get rid of all these kidnappings. Because some of the people who are doing the kidnappings probably do not understand how that impacts the revolution or what they are doing to some of the people that are supposed to support them.
Yes, yes.
So if those people belong to that Kwacha house or that Mbo house or that quarter, that cell in the quarter,
Yes.
where revolutionary ideas are discussed, and
Or in the committee, because
in the
I think he actually talked about local committees.
well, yeah, you can call it a committee, you can call it a cell, you can call it whatever.
Yes.
But it is organizing yourselves at that grass level to empower the people.
Yes.
It is about empowering the people. Let the people understand exactly what we are doing and how we want to do it, and how certain actions like kidnapping and abducting affects what we are trying to do.
Yes.
So that is another lifeline that he threw to us, in spite of everything that he has gone through, in spite of everything that he's doing, that I hope our people can understand, our people can organize around. It's all about organizing.
Yes.
And you have always used the SDF. You know what the SDF did? They went to the markets, spoke to these market women at 12 o'clock every single time. These women used to come out with pots and things, and they'll hit it and try to chase beer out. It is about organizing, letting the people know why they are fighting. And when the people know why they are fighting, they then own it, they internalize it.
So it's organizing, first of all, for educational purposes and then for planning also.
For educational purposes and for planning.
Yes.
Because if those two things are not there, then you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, the revolution cannot happen.
The revolution cannot happen. The people have to understand why they are fighting. Why are you asking us to stay home on Mondays? What does that get us? Why our children out of school?
And what do we gain by
doing that?
Yes.
From the sacrifices that you are asking the people to do now, what is the payoff?
Yes.
You see, some of these questions that we get, whether schools are going to start or schools are not going to start, that is where that conversation happens.
Yes.
And then those in the forefront can easily get how those in the background feel about these things through those committees or through those cells, channeling that information from the grassroots all the way to those who are in the forefront and back.
Yes.
So there is easy communication.
Yes.
Everybody understands the message. If we are going to put out the message that this is what we are doing, there is no discussion, there is no wavering, there is no back and forth.
Yes.
Because, as you have said, you are a member.
It's very important to be a member and a member with responsibilities.
You are a member. It is just like when you go into that quarter meeting. In my village, they call it takas, which is in every quarter. So in each quarter, if you are a quarter member, you have to belong to that takas. So every day on Country Sunday, that takas holds, and every member comes there. That is where the quarter things are discussed. That is where if there is any person who has a case against somebody, they bring it there, and the quarter head is there, and the people judge. That is how our society was organized.
Yes.
That is exactly what he is saying.
Okay.
We have all of these structures already in place. All what we need to do is acknowledge the fact that we took a leap, we jumped over these structures,
Yes.
went and created a government.
Yes.
What he's asking us to do is to go back,
Yes.
and use those structures that we have to build our ability to move this revolution forward.
Yes, and this should not only happen on ground zero.
No.
It should also happen in the diaspora. And I want to mention that, like Roger said, I've always used the SDF because when the SDF first came to the United States, they did the same thing. They went to every city and created a SDF membership there. They created an executive there. And then there was one representative in the United States who was Bojong in Atlanta. And what Bojong did was that he worked with all of them. Whenever there's news from home, he sends it through the different SDF chapters with their executive and their treasurer, and if they needed money, he just calls them, and then in your Sunday meeting, you go there and you all contribute money, your little part, and you send down there, and that's how SDF became very successful. So while the ground is setting up these cells, I'll just call them cells, and they can be named whatever, we should be doing the same thing in the United States, because we can then now start and say, okay, we're going to run a campaign that we get our senators involved or our congressmen involved. Then in our local communities, we all go into our congressmen, educating them. Like some of the misunderstanding that some of our congressmen are misunderstanding, they won't understand because some of us from our constituents will go there when they have enough time and sit down and explain what's going on.
Yes,
and then when they go out to listen to the news, they already know more.
Exactly. So it is grassroots. You can use, how did Obama beat Mitt Romney in 2012 here when the U.S. economy was so? It is grassroots organization.
Yes. People need to understand that it's not. Talk about how did he beat Clinton? Clinton was part of the Democratic machine, and so when Obama came, he had to go below that machine and contact people in the neighborhood who now said it reorganize and actually change the party barons who are going to go support Clinton, because you're going there alone. You're not supporting your congressional district anymore because all of them are for Obama.
Yes,
and that's what happened.
And where he started with the children.
Yes, he started with the children. Then the children
went home and
convinced the parents. Yes.
So those we have to learn every day, and we have to pick these models and try to bring them, to incorporate them into what we already have.
So, at this stage now, it is not about even one man. It's more about what we do, but then there will need to be a central place where people now report.
Yes, and I think that is where the other parts of what those committees, what Honorable Weber is trying to put together, I think those things will come in place. But the first thing is that we need to lay those bases.
Yes, we should start organizing.
We should start organizing at here in Minnesota. We should start organizing ourselves.
Yes,
I will be calling some people, because we need to forget about. We have always said that people should forget about this government thing and government that and all these things, because it does not really serve the revolution the way we want to serve it.
Yes,
governments, people go there for very different interests and different things. But the revolution is the revolution.
Yes.
It is the message of the revolution and nothing else. There is no interest. There is nothing but the revolution. You commit your life to the revolution and you give everything for the revolution. You are ready to die for the revolution.
Yes.
So those people who are thinking like that, or those who are not yet thinking like that, that is where we have to go back. We can begin to organize ourselves while we wait for Honorable Weber and all the other people to put up those structures at the national or international level.
Yes.
But if you organize yourself at your various cities or grassroots organizations, and you are doing whatever you are doing, you are meeting once a month or twice a month or whatever, and just getting to talk and know yourselves. When those things start to happen, you will just pick up from there.
Yeah, we'll bring that information to you and tell you how to connect, so that we start connecting with each other in order to form the national or the international organization that needs to take our revolution to the forefront.
Yes, and the thing that people have to remember is that it is about the revolution. It is not about Wilbur. It is not about you. It is not about me. It is not about you. It is about the revolution, because that is our common denominator. You and I have never met Wilbur.
No.
But the only thing we share together is that we believe in our freedom and we believe in the revolution.
Yes.
And because of that belief, we are brothers in arms.
Yes.
We are brothers. We are sisters. We are fighters for the revolution. So it doesn't matter some of those differences. As long as it is about the revolution, we are together. There is nothing that breaks us apart.
Yes. I'm going to inject something else here which we should consider. I think when the revolution first started, everybody was on. Then the middlemen came and played politics and separated all of us. Now we're acting more like we this is my party and that's your party. We need to get away from that.
Exactly.
And then, and then we should also start keeping our money, because we're going to be contributing that money now in the process where it's actually effective. And I'm saying this because, John Baakuru of the SCLC comes and begs money every day. And I've seen people begin to ask, what is he asking to do? What does John Baakuru do with the money that he gets?
Well, this is what I want us to do as we are talking about creating these constituencies or creating these cells. I would like us to leave those questions aside. I would like us to just ask the people that if you sign up for this revolution, no matter which side you come from, are you still for the revolution?
Yes.
Do you believe in the ideals of the revolution?
Yes.
Do you want us to succeed? Do you want to defend this revolution, as Riba said? If all of the questions I have asked, if the answer is yes to all of these questions, then you are the people that we are addressing ourselves to.
Yes.
You are the one that we are asking that you go and start thinking of who in your neighborhood can you get on your side, so that you start organizing and put yourselves together, so that we put this revolution back on track.
Yes.
Where it's supposed to be. As we are talking about this, we are not going to go back and re-litigate some of those things. We want to focus on the revolution. Everybody knows the problems that we have had, but we have to get ourselves back on track, because we don't have an option. There is no room for failure.
And when you talk about back on track, another question people say, do you want things to change?
Exactly.
If the answer is yes, then this is the change that is coming.
Yes, and be the change that you are looking for.
Yes.
Be the first person that you want to say, okay, I am not going to be stuck on what this person did or what I did and this person did not do this. I have to be able to accept that, okay, that effort failed, but I have to pick up from where I am now and begin to move forward.
Yes.
So you be the change agent that you want to see in the revolution. And then when you start like that, you can go out and look for the people that who have been working with you, and you can tell them that, hey, I have been thinking about what Riba said. I have been looking at these things, and I think that we need to go back to the drawing board and set this thing back straight. Because if we organize ourselves, I have always said on our shows here that the only thing that we have for sure 100% is each other.
Yes.
That is what we have.
Yes.
And that is our greatest strength. We have that, and we have our resolve. And when we put that together, like that Ivorian woman said with the broom, nothing can break us.